Om. 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 Sairam, everyone. Just to recollect where we were last week, we are studying chapter 4 from Sathya Sai Vahini, where Swami is talking about various aspects of the supreme goal of the Bharatiyas and the challenges they encountered and the progress they made to come to the understanding that the Atman is within us, and to experience that is the only way to understand it and know it. There's no other way to find it. It's a wonder of wonders that even though we are the Atman, we do not recognize it. And the last week discussion was around the challenges which Sanatana Dharma faced from other inimical forces which came to Bharat. And Swami mentioned Guru Nanak ji and Govind Singh, who did in their own way, protected the Sanatana Dharma. Swami was giving giving the example of how when foreign forces and other religions attacked, they were able to still willingly embrace it to the extent possible and did not slight it. And they also gave their life, especially Guru Gobind Singh ji, to protect the Sanatana Dharma, and how even in spite of his own people turning against him, he did not have any grudge. He was always positive in his outlook. And that's what we discussed. I think there was one question which I think Kalyani asked about, how do we know that we are really fighting for defending the Dharma? And sometimes can't we also slip? And how do we know? I think that was a question asked. I don't think it was exhaustively covered, so maybe I will start off with that. Some remarks which I had, but I thought we should close the session last week. The reality is, in any situation, whenever we are defending the Dharma, I think we should examine ourselves to see whether there is any selfishness, any self-interest in it. Because this is what Krishna told Arjuna. Arjuna was hesitating to fight, and he said, "You're hesitating to fight only because of your attachment to those who oppose Dharma. You identify with them. You identify them as your own people. And that is what is causing you to stay away from this." So the only test for us to know is if you're fighting for Dharma, there should not be any self-interest in it, any form of selfishness. And I think that's the only thing which will let us know whether we are fighting for Dharma or for some other reason. I think that was a point which I did not mention. So I will stop here. If anyone would like to discuss that, or we can continue from where we left off. Saira. We can read Kalyani, I think we can. It's okay.
As each individual is a unique entity, so each nation too has a unique individuality. Each person is different from others in certain matters and is endowed with some special characteristics which are his own. So too, each nation has certain special features not found in others. Each individual has to play a role as a part of the system. His own previous karma or activity has determined a special line or path for him. The history of nations, too, is the same. Each has to play a role already laid down by its destiny. Each nation has to deliver a special message of its own to the world community. Therefore, it is important that Bharatiyas must recognize before everything else the role that this nation has to play, the tune it must sing in the world orchestra of peace and bliss. You must have heard while listening to childhood tales that there are gemstones in the hoods of some serpents, and that so long as those gems embellish the hoods, it is not possible to kill those serpents. Keep this story in your memory. Then you can understand the most miraculous event in human history, the survival of Bharatiya spiritual culture.
Thank you, Kalyani. I think maybe, Auntie, we can read the Telugu.
Yeah, Sairam. ప్రతి మానవుని యందును ఒక ప్రత్యేకత్వము ఎట్లా ఉండునో అట్లే ప్రతి రీతి అందును కూడా ఒక ప్రత్యేకత్వము ఉండును.
Just as a uniqueness is present in each person, individual, the same way such individuality or uniqueness is present in the country also.
Excuse me, Sairam.
Sairam, Pratiti.
ప్రతి రీతి he has translated as each nation.
Each nation.
Is it ప్రతి రీతి means?
I think each belief system also we can say, Auntie, I think so.
Oh, yeah. ప్రతి రీతి ఉండును కూడా ఒక ప్రత్యేకత్వం ఉండును. Maybe
Yeah.
I think belief system may be better.
There's a translation. Yeah, I saw that. Prati Riti. Each Riti means a certain set of rules. So
set of rules you can say,
Yeah.
or you can say every
system of yeah, dharmic system also we can say, I think.
every system.
Yeah.
Prati Riti, every system may have
its own unique individual nature. Okay, and thank you.
But we cannot take it as a nation. We should take it as every what you said first, it is the belief system maybe.
Yes,
That's correct.
I think because when he's translating, because Swami is talking about Bharatiya and all that, so I think because I think the different systems which attacked Bharatiya,
Okay.
I think from that sense, I think he may have translated. So I think Pratiriti means each individual system of belief or system of life has its own unique individual nature. Thank you, Santi.
ప్రతి వాడును కొన్ని కొన్ని విషయములందు ఇతరులందరికన్నా భిన్నుడై స్వకీయములకు, ఇట్స్ ఎ లాంగ్ సిస్టమ్. ప్రతి వాడును కొన్ని కొన్ని విషయములందు,
each person in some aspect or other,
ఇతరుల అందరికన్నా భిన్నుడై,
he will be different from others.
స్వకీయములకు కొన్ని విశిష్ట లక్షణములు కలిగి,
and స్వకీయములకు
into its own. Swakiya means one's own.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. One's own inherent certain individual characteristics will be there for each.
కలిగి ఎట్లుండునో అట్లే
In the same way,
అట్లే ప్రతి జాతియు ఇతర జాతులకు లేని కొన్ని విశిష్ట లక్షణములు కలిగి ఉండును.
So each race will have its own characteristics compared to other races.
So you have taken jati as a race.
Yes, jati. I have given the translation race. I don't know what else we can give, Auntie. And I think the translation says nation. But I would say jati means where you are born. You know, in your clan or your race is a better.
Clan
may be a better one.
Better bird, I think. Clan. Here, jati doesn't mean caste. It doesn't mean.
It's not been. It means you're born. It may include caste, the way Westerners have called it. In India, there are only two descriptions. One is varna. The other one is jati. Varna means the four classifications of human beings, Brahmana, Kshatriya. But within each of the varnas, there are jatis, which are, I think, you can say clans. In some places, people may call them caste, but I think clan is a better
word
translation.
Swami here says, ప్రతి జాతియు ఇతర జాతులకు లేని కొన్ని విశిష్ట లక్షణములు కలిగి ఉండును.
So each jati, each clan or jati, we can also say race, will have its own unique characteristics which are different from others.
Yeah. ప్రకృతి యొక్క నిర్మిత క్రమములో,
in the order in which the creation is established,
ప్రతి వారు నిర్వహింపవలసిన ప్రత్యేక పాత్రము,
so each person's the role which they have to play, which is unique to themselves,
ఎట్లా ఏర్పడి ఉండునో అతని పూర్వకర్మ,
how they have come to be due to the person's previous karmas,
అతనికై ఈ యొక్క ప్రత్యేక మార్గమును ఏర్పరిచి ఉండునో,
each person will have its own individual path which is established.
అట్లే జాతుల విషయము కూడా,
in the same way it applies to the clans or races also.
ప్రతి జాతియు ఒక విధి నిర్దిష్ట పాత్రమును నిర్వహింపవలసి ఉండును.
Each jati or each kulam or each clan has to follow one type of rule which and should function according to that.
ప్రతి జాతియు లోకమునకు ఒక సందేశమును ఇవ్వవలసిన ఉండును.
Every clan or every race has some special message for the world.
కావున మన జాతి సాధించవలసిన కార్యమును,
therefore whatever actions which each of our clans has to accomplish,
అది నిర్వహింపవలసిన విధి నిర్దిష్ట పాత్రమును,
how it has to be established or how it has to be conducted, the rules which have been established for that.
జాతి సామరస్య వాద్యమున అది పాడవలసిన స్వరమును మనము ప్రప్రథము నుండి గ్రహించి ఉండుట ముఖ్యము.
That is the song which each one has to sing in the choir or orchestra of this world.
సామరస్యం అంటే
which harmonious
harmony is established there in that.
So there should be harmony in the song which we sing in the choir or in the orchestra, the musical orchestra.
కొన్ని సర్పముల పడగలందు మణులు ఉండుననియు,
in certain snakes in their hood there are certain gems or jewels.
ఆ మణులు నుండి అంతవరకు ఆ మణులు ఉండునంత వరకు ఆ సర్పములను ఏమి చేసినను చంపుట సాధ్యము కాదనియు,
as long as that gem is present in their hood, that snake cannot be killed.
మీరు చిన్ననాటి కథల్లో విని ఉండరు.
You may have heard these stories when you were small.
దీనిని జ్ఞప్తి పెట్టుకొనిచో,
keeping that in your memory,
చరిత్రయందలి అత్యద్భుత సంఘటన,
in the history the various sangatana and means conflicts and
incidents ana
group enade
ee sangatana incidents anti,
yeah, I think so.
events
Oh yeah,
alli ghatana anna event appa, ghatana ante event.
So that's they have translated as miraculous events only. Adhyatputa, certain wondrous events.
అచ్చా ఇంక ఈవెంట్ ఎడుతుంటారు.
సంఘటన నొక్కడానికి
మేబీ ఘటన మంచి ఘటన ఈ సంఘటన.
I think so.
Sangatana is a coming together of a group things.
Yes, I know. Yeah, that's why I asked whether it's a conflict
Or
or
activity,
it's some activity.
yeah.
Yes, brother.
What is it?
I was just saying, maybe activity.
A group activity, you can say.
Group activity. That's right.
A group activity. Thank you.
దీనిని డెప్త్ పెట్టుకొనిచో చరిత్ర ఎందలి అత్యద్భుత సంఘటన ఒకదానిని మనము గ్రహింపగలము.
So if we keep this in memory, we will be able to understand the events of this events. So I think what Swami is talking about is, I think the way I understand, maybe I will start the discussion there. See, as long as the Bharatiyas keep that jewel or gem in their head,
It cannot be
nothing, they cannot be killed.
killed.
That's what Swami is saying. Swami is talking about all the attacks to the Sanatana Dharma, to the Bharat, because this gem was always in their head, in their hood. They could not be killed, they could not be destroyed. So that itself is a wonder, is what Swami is saying. That's why Adhyatputa Sangatana means actually the fights to which Bharatiyas were exposed, the attacks which were imposed on them, could not destroy the Bharatiya Samskriti because of the presence of that gem in the head.
Yeah.
Just the way serpents cannot be killed. I think that's what Swami is trying to say. So I hope.
The illustration of the sarpa, that is serpent, Swami gives it just as long as the gems are there in its food, it cannot be killed. So also, as long as we keep our culture intact,
Yes.
Bharatiya Samskriti cannot be destroyed by any force.
So that's Swami. Bharatiya Paramartha is the gem which Bharatiya has to carry.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone wants to tell the story of how the serpents, if anyone has, I think the younger generation may have not heard it. In India, I think it must be quite, anyone who has listened to these stories, how snakes keep the gem and go around.
No.
Sister, you should have heard these stories. Yes, I Satish, please go ahead.
Hi, Ramana. So there is this money, they call it Naga money.
Yes.
And yeah, that is where, because there have always been sightings. People talk about it, yeah, especially on full moon nights and so on, of such a thing. But it is supposed to have very miraculous powers, on account of which, by folk tales and lores, they say that they can even assume human form and go back and forth. So there are stories of that nature where the snake carrying the gem, whether, yeah, so they can assume human forms like man, woman kind of a thing and go back. So there are some, I think, olden day stories and folklore that bring such thing. And yeah, there are few other things, incidents that are connected with it, but I'll stop there. Yeah, I don't have a specific story to tell, but the Naga money is supposed to have miraculous powers and cures associated with it. And yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, this I.
Brother Vimalesan, please go ahead.
Sairam, and in connection to this, I don't know whether this is how far this is prevalent or true. This, but people used to say when we were childhood, I heard this, but so I don't know how far that's true. They say there's cobra or the only time when it they put that gem or that money on the ground when they search for food, and so people, if they want to take this thing or kill that, they put mud on the gem, and then it can't. It's vulnerable. It can can be killed. I don't know how far that is. This thing I just thought of telling you.
Thank you very much.
So it's as long as it is on the head, it's invincible. But if it's that's the idea.
Yes, thank you. Yes, Sakwa aunty.
Is this called Chudamani?
Yeah, Chudamani means any jewel which you wear on your head.
Oh,
Okay, so the story goes, generally where people have treasures, and these treasures are sometimes protected by these snakes. Okay, these snakes which live there. Okay, Uncle Gopal and
Kamala auntie says Nagamanikam.
yes, Nagamanikam, yes. So the thing is, the story is, so many people who want this treasure will find it difficult to go and get it because the snake, which is invincible, will be protecting it. So any treasure hunters, all these stories are about treasure hunters. They will get a place, but when they go there, they cannot enter that place because this snake will be ferocious and it cannot be destroyed or killed. So I think there are, even in the Western countries, such stories are there. So the thing is, so you wait for the snake to sometimes remove its head, the gem, and relax. At that time, they are supposed to somehow overpower the snake. So once they overpower the snake, they can go and get the treasure.
Yeah.
So this is the story. So the thing is, the snake knows this, but as Brother Vimalai said, at times when it's in search of food and things like that, it may not carry it. So people wait. So actually, what it means is when we are going in the world for our own livelihood, we sometimes forget our spirituality. And in that process, we become victims who can be overpowered. And all that we treasure is lost. This is the inner significance of the story, which is what Swami is telling. That story itself, which we learned, is there is so much treasure in us. And that treasure can only be protected by keeping that one of that jewel in our own head. The real treasure is all spiritual truths. And if we carry one of our truth in our head all the time, which is the crest jewel of all, then we will be able to protect everything else in this world. We don't need even physical power.
Yeah,
Power is granted by that gem, that principle. Paramartha, that's the way Swami is explaining here.
in the recent times, Padmanabha Swami temple in the south,
Yes.
where there are lots of treasure there, but one door they were not able to open inside. It seems that snakes are protecting them, just like as you say, Nagamani. So they must be protecting the wealth, God's wealth. They can't open it, it seems. And incidentally, I remember one of the Swami's very, very close devotee was Nagamani Amma. She was called Nagamani Amma. Swami used to come to Bangalore and stay there in a house, and she was a great devotee.
Nagamani Purnaya.
Nagamani Purnaya. That Swami used to sing, but it's just a deviation from what we are discussing. Just to remind you, Nagamani Amma wanted to sing bhajans. She was not able to, but Swami used to encourage her. Nagamani Amma, padu, 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 padu. He would always say. And then, especially this song, Ayodhyavasi Ram, Ayodhyavasi Ram. Swami said. And then asked Nagamani Amma, padu, padu. Then she could not bring out that gamakam. So she would, Ayodhyavasi Ram. She would hit her throat and then she would say, Swami, I can't sing that, she would say. Just I remembered that Nagamani. I shared it with you. Okay, sorry.
No, thank you very much, Andrew. Thank you. So, that's the story. So, Swami is talking about how Bharatiya culture was saved by certain, people of certain spiritual caliber. And Swami also is highlighting the there are differences in different jatis, number one. Number two, Swami is also saying you are born in a jati based on your karma. So whatever jati you are born in, you just follow the rule which is established for that. In that, as long as you are in that jati. I think those are a couple of points which Swami is talking about. And he also says, the others may have different rules and practices which may be different from yours, but that's the reality, that's the nature of things. So I'll stop here. If anyone would like to discuss anything, please go ahead.
I think Swami is trying to remind. I think there are situations you may encounter different opinion people around you, but you still keep your principles intact, I guess, right?
Yes, brother. Thank you. Yes.
Our own individual dharma. Each one of us have got some kind of a dharma which we have to follow. So to maintain that dharma is also one of our duties, to keep our culture intact. Sairam.
Thank you very much, Sairam.
When Swami saying each clan or race has some special message for the world.
Yes, Sandesham, Swami is what use of Sandesham, yes.
Oh. So is that, so I know we were talking about the meaning of the word jati. In this context, is Swami also referring to like different religions as well? Like,
Yeah, I think Swami is referring to religions also. Swami has used the word Riti. So Riti means people who subscribe to a particular rule, a set of beliefs and practices.
so there's something to be learned from every religion.
So they also have something to, teach us. They have, as Swami said, in the collective, world, as long as there's harmony, they also contribute something to that song. I think Swami has used the word harmony, which Samarasa, Swami has used.
Samrasyam.
Samarasya. I think we have come across Samarasa sometime back also, I think, on some other topic. Yeah, that's some form of harmony, equanimity, equilibrium, all that is covered. So when that is maintained, each voice contributes to the song. I think as long as that harmony is maintained, I think that's what Swami says.
Just like every instrument plays a role in the song, I think every religion has to coincide and go together in a harmonious way for the society, I guess.
Yes, brother. Thank you. Yes, brother Vimalesan, please go ahead.
Sairam. No, I have read that Swami approve or defends Varnashrama system and all that. But about caste differences, I really not very clear what Swami's what he has said. But if he has even like Varnashrama, even caste system, Swami says it's he approves or he defends that, then how do you reconcile there is only one caste, the caste of humanity, and that two different.
Good question, brother. So brother is asking if each of them are different and Swami says they exist, there's something, then how do we understand the caste of, there's only one caste, the caste of humanity, which Swami has said. So anyone who would like to comment on this? Okay, maybe I will go first. Swami has said there's only one language, the language of the heart. So does it mean we give up all of our individual languages? And what is this language of heart? Is the question we have to ask. What it basically means is the language of the heart is something which is common for every individual language also. Because the language, whichever you speak, should come from your heart. The external manifestation of the language will differ. But at heart, it should be one. So the same way, even though we may be different in terms of a caste, we should not forget that all of us are human beings. That is a constant thing which exists in this world. So I think that is the understanding of there's only one caste, the caste of humanity. There's only one language, the language of heart. So what it means is underlying it all, there is certain common thread which exists, and that should be maintained, and we should never forget that. That's what Swami says. Swami does not believe just Brother Vimalis. See, actually, Swami jokingly says, see, some students, about students, youngsters, Swami says they marry, that's intercaste marriages and interreligious marriages. And apparently they go to their parents and say, Swami has said there's only one religion, the religion of love. It's only one caste, that's caste of humanity. So I'm marrying this girl. See, this is a very convenient way of using Swami's teachings. Swami says, yes, I have said that. But what about your culture? Swami asks, what about your culture? I have not talked about culture. So the thing is, if you have a tradition, you have to follow that. But it doesn't mean that you remove all castes. The castes exist. The languages will exist. But within all that, the heart should not be removed from the language. The same way, the humanity should not be removed while practicing our castes. And there are other places where Swami has said, we are born in a particular situation based on our karmas in the past. So in this life, you do what you have to do. Just follow your tradition, your sampradaya, is my understanding. But that does not mean you cannot pursue anything spiritual. So I will stop here. If anyone else would like to comment. Yes, Brother Sai Satish, go ahead.
Haramana. So at the level of the Atman, I think all of that saying of language of the heart, the caste of humanity, religion of love applies. But when we have our code of ethics or traditions or all of those setups that have come, which is again relating to at the level of the body and the mind, in way the traditions, culture, all of that has been set up. So that is where, when we have to go with the Swadharma and Paradharma angle, when it should no doubt be connected with the Atman. But like Anna said, it shouldn't be used as a convenient philosophy to keep jumping from one horse to another. In the ways of the world, based on the traditions that are passed on from one ancestry to another, the way those traditions are set up, those needs to be followed because they have been set up with a particular understanding, a frame of reference that has been passed on from ages. And while that is being passed, while that is to focus on, that is where I think Swami is coming back to, even with Bharatiya culture, Bharatiya Samskriti, where I think in the genetic makeup, like how we have the DNA for the body, there is a spiritual DNA of bhakti that is there in the Bharatiya framework. And even as we go along with the Varnashrama dharmas or several other things, that mode of expression of bhakti has its own vidhanam, the way it is laid out as a practice for that particular class of people or tribe of people or clan or race, however we call it, it has been laid out, which needs to be followed. But at the atmic level, always it is based on the fundamental principle of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole universe or whole earth has one family. That framework remains. But in terms of practice, since it comes to the level of the body and the mind, those traditions need to be followed as well.
Thank you, Sir Satish. Thank you. Brother Himalayan, please
Yeah,
go.
Sairam. Now, I would like to a little bit more clear about this also. I have read in for the general criticism about caste or even varnashram or caste or whatever, the many spiritual leaders have defended that it was not a rigid thing. For example, they say they cite Vishwamitra, Trona, and Valmiki. So, what Swami also said those things, or I would like to know that.
Okay, brother. So I think, see, I will. I think the question is, can anyone become a Brahmana? That's the only challenge. Okay, people have this question. So I think I can speak from my personal life. So I think maybe I will just share. I hope it's okay. In the 1979, when I joined Patti, I joined the Vedam group. So I used to learn Vedam and chant regularly. But I realized that I was the only non-Brahmin in that group. Everyone else was a Brahmin boy. So in 1983, Swami said, I'm going to perform Yajnopavitam for all the boys, all Brahmin boys. So, I was quite keen that I also get Yajnopavitam, that's sacred thread. So we wrote to our parents and said, come, Swami is going to perform. It was in March. Please come, we can ask Swami. So my parents also came at that time. And on 9th March 83, Swami gave our family an interview. Because the following week, the sacred thread ceremony was beginning. See, one of the complex I had was all the other boys who were chanting Vedam, they used to have their Sandhya Vandanam, they used to change their sacred thread every year during the month of Shravana, Avani Avatam in Tamil it's called. So I was the only one who was an odd man out, a misfit, if you want to put it. So I had a complex. So in that interview, Swami asked, what do you all want? So I said, Swami, Yajnopavitam, you can perform for us. Then Swami said, no, that is not your tradition. That is their tradition. But you can always live like a Brahmana. That was what Swami said. You can live like a Brahmana, but you don't need this tradition. And then my father took some courage and said, Swami, but we need Gayatri initiation at least. If Swami can give us Gayatri initiation. Then Swami said, Pakala, I will see. And that was then, after that, he talked some personal matters and the interview was over. I was quite crestfallen, upset, Swami has rejected, my application. So it took a long time. But, Swami said, even if you're not part of that caste, you can still live like that person. Live. So that means you had to follow the same restriction a Brahmana would follow. But fortunately for us, on the 17th of March, 1983, when Swami did the Yajnopavitam sacred ceremony was going on, generally the parents, the father has to chant the Gayatri mantra in the ear of the boy. But that was the only year Swami said, bring the mic. And Swami chanted the Gayatri 3 times. And that initiation of Swami has remained. Everyone can hear those Gayatri words from Swami. So I think what matters is Swami respected each and every caste, tradition, and the purity with which it has to be followed. But Swami says you don't need to practice all the external rituals and the practices, but you can live like a Brahmana. in spite of that. And if you want to know the Gayatri, Swami has given it. Swami's Gayatri is unique in many ways. So I think that's my personal experience. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you, Brother Arno. But I think even you yourself has told, even I have came across some, for some other non-Brahmin Swami has materialized Yajnapavidam and did that. Is that correct?
There are some stray incidents like that, brother, but they are very exceptional things which I cannot understand. They are
Right. Yeah,
possible
we
things.
can't understand
Very,
Swami.
very few, as far
Right.
as I understand.
Okay.
But in the Mahabharata, Dharmaraja is asking Bhishma this question. Though we are born as Brahmana, can anyone become a Brahmana? Kshatriya, can we become Brahmana? There's only one exception, which is in the history of humankind, which is Vishwamitra. But for that also, there is a particular reason. That's what Bhishma is saying to Dharmaraja. So what it basically means is, in each incarnation, we are given that life based on our past karmas. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna assures that if you lead a very austere life, then in next lifetimes, you will be born in a family, in a situation where you can continue to practice things further. So I think it's similar to any job interview. If you get a job, even if you want promotion, you have to wait for that vacancy and you have to apply. Until you get that job, you have to do your own job. But that does not mean you can equip yourself to do something higher, something different. We can learn, we can study, we can improve our skills, knowledge, but that role will be given when we are found to be deserving, or even if it's required, is the way I understand. So I think there are different places Swami has spoken about it. Even in Dharma Vahini, Swami has spoken about it. And in the Gita Vahini also, Swami has told, while reciting what Krishna said about the Varna, Swami has spoken about it. Maya Srishtam, like that, God has created this for the sake of like confusion, to limit confusion. See, in the ancient tradition, every jati did their own job which belonged to the jati. They never had the unemployment problem. They never had competition. Everyone did what was allotted to them from a worldly livelihood perspective, and they devoted all their time for spiritual learning. So that way, learning a livelihood did not become a competitive game, nor we were without any jobs. So this Swami has spoken at a couple of places, I would say. I will stop here. Yes, Brother Gopala.
Saira,
Uncle.
in the Vaishnava tradition, in the Alvars, some of the Alvars were Brahmins, some of the Alvars were non-Brahmins. Just want to make a point. Thank you, Saira.
Sairam, Uncle. There
Just
is
to be a
also
little bit more clear there, Brother Arno, you I don't know that sloka, but Bhagavad Gita, you brought that sloka, Chadur Varnam, that sloka,
Maya Srishtam, yes.
right. The full sloka, some people, I just want to be a bit more clear. Some people say
Guna
that
karma vibhagasa,
so
Guna and karma.
Guna vibhave. So does that sloka says is according to the gunas only or by birth? That kind of
Guna and karma. So what does this karma means? The karma which you have done in the past. So if God has created us in a particular role, if he has given a certain body to us, or it's all based on our guna and karma in the previous life.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so unless you suddenly change all your guna and karma in this lifetime, even then God has to only promote. There is very simple way he promotes. He will cut short your life and give you a new birth, which we are not ready actually because of our attachments. So that is why he is the one who can give us a new job, new body, new circumstances. Even Valmiki, there's a many story that he had to be born again. It's not that he in one lifetime many things happened. Also, that's another thing people have discussed. There is also this famous story of somebody called Dharma Vyada. So in Dharma Vyada is a butcher. Or to him, some sannyasi is sent to learn about dharma. So actually he is, so Brahmin person is coming to learn dharma from this butcher, who is called Dharma Vyadha. So this Dharma Vyadha is actually, is a butcher, he is killing animals and selling. So when this person comes, the sannyasi comes, there's a story, I don't know whether you all know the story of the sannyasi who tried to burn a woman,
Yeah.
He's a Siddha. Okay, maybe I will go back a little, tell, I think I shouldn't tell half the story. So this is a great Siddha. One day he comes to a begging. Okay, so when he comes begging, at one house he says, asking for alms. So the woman who of the house, she was busy serving her husband. And she was a little delayed when she came to ask him what he wanted. So this person stared at her, with anger. Then she told him, "Do you think I am the crane?" Because apparently before coming, there's a crane which was passing by and it had, dropped, its droppings fell on them, this person, the Siddha, and he looked at it and it burnt into ashes. So this fellow didn't know what to do. He was such a learned scholar, very advanced siddhis he had. So he was ashamed. Then that woman says, "You need to know what is dharma. I am following my dharma, but you need to learn what is dharma." And so because he realized that this woman is all knowing, even though she was in her home, serving her husband, she could know this. So he said, "You teach me dharma." Then she says, "No, I cannot teach you. You go to this Dharma Vyada. He's a butcher, nearby village, and he will teach you." So this person goes to this Dharma Vyada, who is a butcher. Actually, he's killing animals and selling. And when he saw this person come, Dharma Vyada knew who he is. He right away comes out and says, "I cannot talk to you here because this is an environment which is not suitable for you. You come to my house." So he takes him home and he talks to him. See, even though he was a butcher by profession, he was a vegetarian. He was doing sandhya, he was doing prayers, he was doing everything properly. So he was telling, "I am born in this race. I am born in this jati. So that is my duty to continue this lifestyle from a worldly earning income perspective. But I am leading a life which is of a Brahmana nature." So there are many such examples of people, even if they were doing something of we perceive them as of a lower nature, they led a very high elevated life, following all the principles which a person like a Brahmana will practice. So I thought I would stop here. So these are some examples from Puranas, and some Swami has also spoken about it at different places. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you, Brother Aruno. I'm sorry I already caused the digression, but I want to, in the same breath, before going to the main subject, I want to ask something, the continuation of yesterday. Mani Auntie is here. She or anyone can answer. I just tell 1 minute. I would like to know the clear difference, meanings difference between in the Vibhuti Mantra, Pradadam and Pradhanam. I want to be very clear about the meaning difference.
Yes, Auntie, please go if you can say something. Auntie.
Yeah. Actually, Sairam, the original which Swami gave to me was Paramartham Ishtartha Moksha Pradatam.
Right.
That Vibhuti can bestow all our wishes, personal wishes, Ishtartha, Paramartha also, and then Moksha. It can liberate you also. So
Right.
these are the things which can be bestowed by Vibhuti. That's what Swami wanted me. He gave me this Pradatam. But what happened was a few years ago, on the Vibhuti packets, it was written as Pradhanam. So people got confused and they have been reciting in that way. Pradhanam also has got meaning. We are now Prakriti, Moola Prakriti is Pradhanam. But that word doesn't suit that line, as far as I know.
Right.
Even Arun also can throw some light on it. Pradhanam here doesn't give the full meaning of that particular line.
Mm.
So it is Pradatam only. And I think we have to pronounce it as Swami gave me. Sairam.
Okay, so the Pradatam means it gives, in
It
that
gives.
line, it gives
Yeah.
like Ishtartha, Moksha, everything it
Yeah,
gives. That's
everything it gives.
Right, but okay.
Ishtartham, Paramartham, everything it gives. That's what Datam is to give. So Pradatam, it's holy. This thing.
So when they replace it, replaced by Pradhanam, how does the meaning affected?
I don't think it is Pradhanam.
So
that line is incomplete, isn't it, Arun?
yeah, I will throw some light.
Yeah.
See, in Sanskrit, there are something called pratyayas, which are the suffixes which are attached to verbs. Okay. Pradata comes about with the root, so root of da, but with the pra is the prefix, da is the root word.
Right.
And then what happens is a pratyaya is attached to express certain meaning of the root word. It becomes a noun. So what happens is in the pradata, the suffix or pratyaya is called ukta, kta, pratyaya, which basically says somebody who has done it, somebody which does it. The pros, pradata means it has granted.
It has granted.
It will grant type of.
Okay.
Whereas danam, that's a pratyaya called lut is attached. This I'm going into technical terms, which actually describes the process of giving. So the thing is, the process of giving mokshartha is understood by the pradhanam. Okay, that is the action of giving. Whereas pradhatam is that which has given it. Okay, so in the vibhuti has given it is the pradhatam. Okay, but pradhanam, you can extend the meaning and say it is giving, the process of giving rather than the thing which gives. So that's a slightly different, brother. Pradhanam is the process of giving. Pradhatam is that which gives. So in this case, vibhuti is that which gives you moksha. And
Sairam, Arun.
Yes,
Arun. Pradhanam, da is Mahaprana there.
No, it is, you can, pradhanam is simple. See, unfortunately, then pradhanam means that's the more important. So there the meaning is completely different. Pradhanam, which is without the Mahaprana, which is the...
Without Mahaprana, Pradhanam is.
Pradhanam means the process of giving.
In English, they have pronounced it as DHAN.
I know, see.
All confusion.
All confusion, whether it's dhanam, dhanam, everything is. So you are talking about a pradhana, which is the moola prakriti.
That's.
I know, but in English they have written everything in. So we don't know whether it's Sanskrit or English or.
So with the Mahaprana Pradhanam is almost what we means in Tamil.
Exactly. Yes, yes. But it's also that which gives. So it's a slightly different. As Sandy said, it's called moola prakriti, the original cause. Original cause.
Okay.
Cause of the creation.
So
thank you very much. Yes.
Okay, so I hope. But ideally, pradhatam means vibhuti is that which gives. Pradhatam is the right meaning grammatically.
And moreover, that word originally came from Swami.
Yes.
Right.
Nobody can change it. Nobody can change it. That's what.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Sakku aunty, you have raised your hand.
Yes, Sairam. Since this Vibhuti Mandiram was revealed to Bhashyamanti. That is the real correct version. Who can correct this? How can anyone take a responsibility and make it right? This is my question.
Actually, Sakuji,
Yeah.
you know our Veda Narayan. You know
Yeah.
him well.
Yeah.
Veda Narayan met me in Parthi once, about 3 years ago when I went there. Veda Narayan, I could talk to him and he asked me, Amma, how did it come to you? He asked me, how did this what are the correct pronunciation of these lines? I told him, this is the way Swami gave me. So he said, okay. So after that, in Radio Sai, that Sathya Sai Media, sent a small note saying that it should be pronounced it as Pradatam, not as Pradhanam. They have cleared it. Sathya Sai Media has cleared it. So now everybody will follow these words Pradatam only. Nobody, I don't know how it came, that word came in the Vibhuti packets. It was written there. We don't know who did it. Anyway, let us not go into the details. We'll keep this mantra as it came from Swami to me. So let us recite it in the same. Okay?
Yeah. Somewhere we have to start to the right.
Okay, Brother Yoga, you have something.
Yes, whichever you sing, Swami bless according to that. Pradhanam, Pradhanam, Prasadam, Swami bless that way.
It was Pradatam only. No Pradhanam, no Prasadam.
See, I think what is most important we should understand is we should constantly learn. We have to correct ourselves. And that's the only way we can progress.
So each center should correct it.
Yeah, everybody, I think they are reciting in the particular way.
Yeah, we can do it, but centers also should do it.
Centers also doing. Most of the centers, they are doing it. But we have been sending reminders saying that you should pronounce it as Pradatam. Even the Radio Sai also has been sending.
So shall we can continue now.
Next chapter.
I think just one point which I wanted to say, brother Imele said about the guna karma.
Yes.
Swami said even if you're born as a Brahmana, even through action you should be a Brahmana. That Swami has said. Okay. But just because we think we are behaving like Brahmana, we cannot self-promote ourselves as a Brahmana. It's my understanding.
Okay.
That is the only thing which I think causes a lot of problem, especially in Tamil Nadu, I would say. So let's continue, Saira.
Thank you.
We should go to the next chapter now.
Just one question about the each jati having its own special message for the world. So is it that, because I was thinking that Sanatana Dharma contains everything, like the highest universal truths are there. So is there really anything in any other religion that is not in there? And it's not, why Swami is saying that each jati has its own special message?
Thank you very much, Kalyani. Anyone would like to comment on this question? If Sanatana Dharma has everything, what is the special message from different jati? That's a question from Kalyani. Anyone would like to? Yes, Sai Satish, please go ahead.
I'll attempt. So in terms of Bharatiya culture, that itself is the ocean, and every so every religion or way of thinking can be the rivers that merge into, or the sea that merges into that ocean. But what it does is, nevertheless, when the river merges into the ocean, we know that that is the place where the deltas form, the fine, rich soil that earlier civilizations would use for large-scale cultivation. So every line of no doubt the ocean is the Bharatiya Paramartha Vahini, or the Bharatiya Sanskriti in itself. But every line of thinking or the attempt to merge with that absolute brings with itself a richness that it can contribute, which is part of the overall thing. And it's a unique experience of that stream of people, or those set of individuals, which again overall enriches the framework of things. Though Bharatiya culture is the superset or the universal container or the ocean, but each of this bringing in their own, that's where I think earlier also Swami has told, where each of the line of thinking is already epitomized in the Bharatiya culture, but it brings its own uniqueness and that relationship with God, like as many seekers, those many paths kind of a thing, which is which is very useful for other seekers who are following, to see which is it that appeals most to their heart and take up to that kind of path and go along. Sairam.
Thank you very much, Sai Sathish. Anyone would like to add to this?
So, I guess in a practical way, like, is there, like, should we be making any attempt to learn something from other, I mean, because we are contacting many different religions, like in living here as well. Is there something that we should be learning from them?
Okay, I will again open it up for anyone to comment.
Swami has always encouraged us to learn good things from any other religion. Whatever we find good in others, we can adopt it, but retaining at the same time our own culture, not to be influenced by others. The best in the Islamic religion or in the Christianity or Zoroastrianism, we can take the best out of thing, whatever we find good for us, for our own upliftment, we can adopt it. Sairam.
Thank you very much, Auntie. Yes, Sai Satish.
Ramana. So in terms of, I think, like, we take, forget if it's Sage Bharadwaja who asks for 100 years to go through the entire Vedas and so on, and he asks for one more 100 years, and he's not able to fathom the depth of the Vedas and so on. So what I'm seeing is, in terms of our day-to-day thing, first is to understand our culture, our Samskriti, for our Samskarana. And even as we do that, if we are able to understand our own deep roots and culture, when we interact with people on the outside, we will see that whatever they are saying is actually Swami's teachings. Because everything Swami has covered, it will only reinforce from the external also, oh, Swami, you're telling it through a Muslim, or you're telling it through a Christian, or you're telling it through a Sikh, but essentially it is what you have been telling. So it will only broaden the understanding of what lies within our own culture, because our own, the culture itself is so broad and so in depth, but that learning that itself, it takes lifetimes. So I think that self-study would help you, and it will just show that whatever we are learning will get reinforced from the external as well.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish. Anyone else would like to add?
Sai Ram, I think I'm confused then when we are talking about different religion or culture, because if I remember in this chapter 1, chapter 2, Swami has said that Sanatan Dharma is the only dharma, and all of the religions basically mushrooms came out of it. So they took whatever relevant, or they are refusing to accept Sanatan Dharma, but they are out of it. So I basically understood, okay, if I understand Sanatan Dharma, which is a way of life, then I'm good. I understand every other religion. So I think I'm not sure if I understood that right.
Thank you very much, sister. I think you gave the answer also.
Oh, is it? That's my
I think you were quoting. I was waiting for someone to quote from there, the exact same place. See, just what Swami said was, Sanatana Dharma is a river which is rushing towards the ocean. It's a broad one which then Swami says every other faith system, religion, took one or two aspects from the Sanatana Dharma and then they stagnated as a pool. Okay, so that means even each of those faith systems have taken from Sanatana Dharma only some aspect, which they may be strictly following. So when we say Sanatana Dharma, we ourselves have not understood the breadth of Sanatana Dharma in its totality. So we have to learn that from somewhere. So what Swami says is, each of those traditions also can highlight some aspect of Sanatana Dharma to you, which you can learn. Because they may be just specializing in that. Because they have taken birth just to master that one aspect of Sanatana Dharma. They're all born into a particular riti, and so that they are perfecting that piece. But is there something which we can learn? Yes, we can learn, because that is also an aspect of Sanatana Dharma only. So in this world, Sanatana Dharma has given life to every system of belief. But there may be some negatives which people have attributed to the practice of that. But within all that, there will be something underlying. There's an element of Sanatana Dharma in each and every faith system in this world. As long as we understand what that aspect is, and that can be learned by us from other religions or any faith as well, because it is another facet of Sanatana Dharma only. So I think none of us know the Sanatana Dharma completely. Have we learned every aspect of it? So it's an opportunity for us to learn from others also. But we should be able to find out what is that aspect of Sanatana Dharma which they're practicing. And that can be accepted and we can learn from that. Is my understanding. I hope. Thanks, Sister Shivani, for recollecting, what Swami has said. Yes, I hope, Kalyani, that sort of answers your question.
Yes, thank you.
So you're not learning anything foreign.
Mhm.
Okay, so yes, Sister Aruna.
Sairam, brother, we are talking about Sanatana Dharma, and all the other religions have picked some of the things from Sanatana Dharma. So, what is exactly Sanatana Dharma is the one we have to understand, right? Then only we know what they have picked.
Yes.
Right?
So what did we understand? Have we
What is
understood?
that? What is that in your heart? You think that is Sanatana Dharma?
You're asking me, sister?
Yes, please. I wanted to understand from
So
you.
I will pose the question, because Swami, that's what Swami has been speaking on the 4 chapters.
Yes, brother, I know, but all this
So
time,
what do you know,
what is
sister?
exactly now? Because
What do you know? In this chapter itself, Swami said. So I will stop with that. This is Vidiya Vidiya Raman Kadada.
peace and bliss and all things, brother.
No.
Sanatana, everything, acceptance of everything, to see the right thing, and what is like so many things. It's embedded in this Sanatana Dharma, right? To see as one, everything, also God.
What is sister? What is Bharatiya Paramartha? Let me ask that question, and we can it's a revision for all of us. So what did Swami call Bharatiya Paramartha? Yes, Auntie Sakku has raised her hand. I think she will give the answer. The supreme goal of Bharatiyas. What, Kalyani, I think something happened.
Something happened, yeah.
Okay, fine. Yes, Auntie Sakku?
Yeah. The Sanatana Dharma means the way of life for human, true human nature.
Did Swami say that?
No,
I'm just talking about what Swami has said.
did he?
I don't know.
Sairam.
Jairam, Auntie, please go ahead.
The whole purpose of human life is only to find out that you are that Atman. That is the thing what we have learned. Even in this chapter, Swami has been saying, you have to know yourself, what you are. That is the Paramartha of our life. So the whole this thing can be condensed into one small this thing, that is We have to know ourselves, and we have to know that we are the divine Atma. That is Saira.
Thank you very much, Auntie. Auntie
Auntie.
has nicely summarized. Knowing that we are the Atman and knowing
Yes.
everyone else is also Atman.
Atman.
The Atman is the one which is driving this world, and being able to find the Atman in everything, including ourselves, starting from ourselves, is the purpose and goal of Sanatana Dharma in a simple term. But then there are various aspects through which it's understood, peace, bliss, all that also will be a result of that Paravidya Paramartha. And that Swami is calling is the Sanatana Dharma. And everything which stems from that is Dharma. And so that is Sanatana Dharma. But to get to that full understanding and to be able to experientially realize that, there are so many things which we will learn from this world. And there are others from other religions also can teach us some aspects of that. Like if you take Christianity, Jesus says, do unto others what you want them to do unto you. You know, treat others as the way you treat yourself. You know, these are certain lessons which, and that is also an aspect of knowing that we are the Atman. And others also have the Atman, and we have to, in that sense, we are all same. You know, that
So
can.
in that sense, we will accept whatever they are doing in the religion, whatever they are doing, something to realize themselves as an Atma, then we think, okay, just leave them on their way, kind of, or learn from them. What is to learn from them? They didn't understand that. I don't know. I'm just thinking.
See, Swami said, everyone has a Sandesham, Swami said. But if you have already mastered that that lesson, you don't have to worry about it. But people who have not learned it can learn from it. Because the story of Dakshinamurti is he learned from everything in this world.
Yeah.
The bird, the leaves, the ants, the animals. From everything we can learn something of divinity, because divinity is expressing through everything in this world, every person in this world. So if we can recognize that,
So from the different religion, when they are practicing, what way you will look at it on the Sanatana Dharma point of view, saying that what way you will look at it, please? So different religion in a Sanatana Dharma point of view, how we will look at it.
okay, so sister's asking, can anyone give some examples of what we can learn from other religious people? Okay, so we'll stop there. Yes, Uncle Gopalan has.
Ram, I just want to previous question, I just want to say that the answer is coming on the chapter which says, be yourself. Swami is giving the meaning of Paramartha meaning. So when we come to that chapter, we can understand it better. I just want to say.
Thank you, Uncle. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah,
yes, Sairam, sister, go ahead.
No, I was just, it's a very good question, Sister Aruna. I am thinking what Auntie has summarized that, and I think from Gita Vahini, that was very obvious when Lord Krishna was giving that. He was saying, just understand the bigger concept. And I think Sanatan Dharma, it may get confused because that's where Arjuna was confused. What should I do? Should I do this? Should I do this? Should I do this? And that was his confusion too. So I guess these are all tools what other religions are doing. There are different ways, and whatever resonates, wherever you think it will take you to realize your ultimate, the Atma principle, just take that, whatever helps you. So I see that as they all stamp out of Sanatan Dharma, I see there are different tools they are using to realize the ultimate goal. So yeah, learn from them if you think that resonates with you. So go ahead. I mean, that's how I see it. So yeah.
Thank you very much, Sister Shivani. Anyone else would like to add?
Yes, Iram, I think just extending from there, I think when we are comparing the other religions, let's not look at them as a separate group or anything in that mindset, but look at them as an Atmic principle point of view. I mean, from our, because we are following Sanatana Dharma, maybe we should not give that differentiation, this religion, Christian, Muslim, whatever it is. Instead of that, go with our own formula where we typically want to look everyone as an Atma, right? So if we approach that way when looking at others, we don't have to question whether that religion is doing good or bad, what their principle. We don't care. I mean care is not I'm trying to say, but that's not our importance. Our importance is purely relies on the Atmic principle. That's what maybe the way we were looking at the things may be confusing us, I guess.
And just to add a little further on that, sorry, brother, I'm just going to take 2 seconds. You know, at the practical level, at workplace, this diversity, inclusion, at my workplace, there are different affinities, you know.
That's not
groups.
religion, brother, sister. That's not okay. So let's
I know
not
they have Hindu.
political thoughts. Let's keep the political thoughts out.
I
Okay.
mean, in the sense, the groups are there. So I said, oh, they're different. But now learning from Sathya Sai Vahini, when I go and see those different groups, I'm going with the mindset, oh, this is a different angle of Sanatan Dharma. Oh, okay, this is because I don't know about Sanat. So when I go in that group and learn from them, this is how I'm seeing the aspect which I'm not aware of, and they will educate me on that. Sorry, brother, I just
No
brought
problem.
little practical thing how I am seeing other things.
Thank you. Yes, Auntie Saku.
Yes, there most of all the religions, they teach good stuff: brotherhood, sisterhood, compassion, unity, caring for the people who need help, health-wise, food-wise, giving them, taking care of them, looking after wherever they can. As a group, they help each other. So we can look into those things, and we are doing that. That's what Sanatana Dharma, right? It's all with love. Because your Atma is full of love, you try to take those studies, the actions that they are doing. They collect money for flood affected areas. Like that, they are doing kind of compassionate and caring methods. The Muslims, the Christians, they all do that.
Okay, thank you very much, Auntie. I think collecting money is something which I think we should not do, but let's go with us and Mr. Kandaya.
Yes, Sairam, brother.
Yes.
So you have to respect all the religion, be in your religion. In your religion, you have to learn a lot. It's like your own mother. Respect other ladies as a mother too. All the religions are teaching about the love. It's all different river merge into the ocean. But be in your religion, respect other religions. Thank you, brother Sairam.
Thank you. I think, but yes, Sister Aruna.
Brother, see, we are saying the Sanatana Dharma is take you like we believe that we are Atma, we came from a spark of divine and all kind of thing. So whereas some of the religion, they don't believe on this Atma. So, they don't talk about that. They think this is the time they are done, that's they go to heaven or thing. So in that perspective, where is our way of like how we will look at that in that situations? Just a question, just to
Very good,
understand.
sister. Very good.
Yes.
So I think I just wanted to comment. See, Swami is saying every jati has a unique thing to offer.
Yeah, that's what you.
Okay, number one. Number two, so for example, compassion means is it only in one religion? It's in every religion. So that's not unique. We can learn from them, it may not be unique. So then I think then we go to Sister Aruna's question. You know, other religions don't have the concept of Atman. So how do we know that that will help us, whatever we learn from them, because they don't recognize Atman? Then how can we learn this from that? I think that's the question. I think 2-3 points I wanted to mention. Swami didn't say that you can learn everything from Sanatana Dharma from others. You learn one thing. That's what Swami has. I will just give a couple of examples. You know, we are all Hindus generally think we are all following Sanatana Dharma. But in Swami's discourse, Swami said, you know, for example, if you take a Muslim person, at the right time, wherever they are, they will fall down and pray. They don't worry what others think, what others say. Do we pray like that? we are also supposed to pray at a particular point in time, at a particular occasion. Okay, and they will all look at some. See, they don't care what others say. Okay, but Swami says our people, we put vibhuti inside the house. When we go out, we just rub it,
Yeah.
and so we don't want others. So that means we don't have faith in our own religion, our own God, our own symbols. So you can say the way they pray, we may not be praying. We will say, oh, I can't do this at this time, and I have something else more important. For them, uniformly, they will pray, fall and pray. So that means praying to God will one day to make us realize that we are Atman. Because that is also recognizing the importance of Atman, importance of prayer. So there are things like that we can learn from other religions as well. And they are not ashamed to talk about religion. Even politicians will talk about religion with confidence. But among ourselves, we are worried, what is the politically right thing to say? Others may be offended. So actually, we are ourselves not confident. And today we listen to a discourse. Swami says, today there's a lot of devotion without faith. Swami says it's like a human being without breath. Vishwasam is like swasam. But we all have lots of devotion without any faith. So I think there are some simple things like that we can learn from other religions as well. We don't have to say, oh, they are also slaughtering cows and eating, so we will also do that. That's nothing to do with Sanatana Dharma. So we need to pick and choose whatever we can from others, which will actually point out to us that we ourselves are deficient in the way we practice our own faith, which Swami himself has spoken about. There are enough discourses where Swami says exactly what I'm saying. So Swami says every Christian will go to the church on Sunday. We only when it's convenient, we will go to the center for bhajans. So we can learn that. Though in our code of conduct says daily meditation prayer, once a week you should attend center activities. We will take anything else comes, we will drop this and attend to that first. So these are things, then we use convenient philosophy. We will say this is also duty, I am performing my duty and things like that. So these are things which we can learn from other people also. Even if they don't recognize Atman, they recognize God and they pray.
Oh, thank you so much. That just makes sense. Thanks a lot.
So I will just some example. I'm sure most of you can find many others, but I will just tell, because Swami says every religion has one thing to say. Just pick that one thing which is related to Sanatana Dharma.
Yeah.
So,
Uncle, could you just please translate that line that comes after this line about the sunshine? Kavana.
Which one?
Kavana manajati sadincha vadasina.
1 minute. 1 minute. Last sentence, ఇంగే కావున మన జాతి సాధించవలసిన కార్యమును అది నిర్వహింపవలసిన విధి నిర్దిష్ట పాత్రమును జాతి సామరస్య వాద్యమున అది పాడవలసిన స్వరము మనము ప్రప్రథమ నుండి గ్రహించి ఉండుట ముఖ్యము. కావున మన జాతి సాధించవలసిన కార్యమును అది నిర్వహింపవలసిన విధి. Arun, can you just
say so Swami, what Swami say? Okay. Mana, wait.
మన జాతి సాధించవలసిన కార్యమును.
So the activities or actions which have to be accomplished by our clan or race.
Clan and నిర్వహింపవలసిన విధి.
The rules which have to be practiced and upheld.
నిర్దిష్ట పాత్రము.
The role which we have to play.
No, the particular role which has
a particular role which we have to play.
అది సామరస్య వాద్యమున అది పాడవలసిన స్వరమును మనము ప్రప్రథమ నుండి గ్రహించి ఉండుట ముఖ్యము. So it is from beginning.
In the harmonious samarasya, samarasya
వాద్యము.
So Samarasya Vadi means means
Harmonic.
orchestra you can say. Harmonic orchestra you can say.
Or Vadyam ante instrument appa.
Vadya, that's why I use the word orchestra auntie. A group of instrumentalists coming together and playing together.
Okay.
So that's the way I call it. Samarasya Vadya means when musical instruments come together and play as an orchestra. Adi pada valasina swaramunu.
Swaramunu manamu, the swara which we have to sing.
Yeah. So
the swara which we have to sing, we should be very particular about it. And then join together and then bring out the harmony in the things.
So we should keep that as the highest, most important and the primary thing to accomplish, which is we should know what note we have to sing. It is song which all the instruments are playing and we have to just play that note.
Yeah.
Okay, that is what we should understand. So the thing is, in an orchestra where many instruments are playing, we should not overpower other instruments.
Yeah.
We should play according to what has been provided for us so that the overall song will come out well.
Very well. Yeah.
So for example, if we go to an organization, different people will be given different roles. Someone may be say president, someone may be devotional coordinator and all that. But then what happens, no? Everyone wants to be devotional coordinator. Everyone wants to be president. Okay. So if you are given a role for that year, you just perform that role. Don't change, you need to know what your role is, just play that.
Yeah. And the previous sentence is also important. Pratijatiyu lokamunaku oka sandeshamo sandeshamunu iyavalsina unduno. That
So every jati has something to contribute
to the
overall thing.
Society.
So basically the next thing Swami is saying, each one has a role to play. You have to play a note of a set of notes in a certain order. And if everyone does that, the whole song will be very nice, harmonious, and pleasant to listen to. I hope that...
Here apparently Swami means that the other jatis also have a role to play.
Yes.
The other jati also they have got a particular way of contributing towards the music. So we have to know our own swara, our own note which we have to sing. And we can merge with others and then make a beautiful music. That's what Swami is trying to tell.
Thank you very much, Aunt. Yes, Brother Prasad.
Sorry, I mean, no, in the beginning of this, when we started this satsang today, I think Swami started with like a song, right? Every song has a tune, everybody has to follow. I think he was just trying to explain everybody has a certain role to play. Instead of dominating each other, let's stick to your rules and your procedures and policies, I mean, whatever principles, and go with it. Don't try to dominate or don't look at somebody as up or low. So follow your principle to the extent that it is harmonious. If it is missing the harmony because of we are doing something more or less, we need to adjust. The ultimate need is being harmony in the society, I guess. Yep, thank you.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you.
Sorry, Uncle, I know we're out of time, but I don't know if you could quickly just say something about this. So because just in the very previous paragraph, someone was talking about how it's a miracle that Bharat survived all these onslaughts from various other races and jatis. And now in this paragraph, he's saying each of them has a role to play. So was that all part of their role as well?
Yeah, so I think very good question. So if others came and attacked us, is that also part of the design? That's what you're asking. Swami is saying yes.
Can you say it again?
See, if many others attacked Bharat, is that also part of the design? Are they doing their job? Is the question which Kalyani is asking.
Oh.
I said yes. Because through that process, overall, the humanity will improve. With lessons learned. You learn from others what you should not do also. So the thing is, that is why Swami is saying you should be like the serpent which has the money on your head.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you cannot avoid, because God has created, if you go to the jungle, there are lions created, there are deers created, there are leopards created, there are birds created. All of them are doing something. So in the overall scheme of things, they are all contributing to the betterment of the world. But the thing is, we should know if I'm a bird, what I should do. If I'm a lion, what I should do. But you know, can a deer become a lion? Can a lion become a deer? It's not possible. So we should not worry what others are doing. But Swami is saying, you keep the Paramartha as your gem in your head and you go on, nothing will happen to you. I will take care.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what Swami's thing is. So I think that's my understanding. We can continue this discussion after we contemplate. And I think in the next chapter also Swami is continuing this similar theme. So we can discuss there as well. We'll close for today. It's 3 minutes over. Sai Ram, everyone, thanks for very involved discussion today. At least only few of us talked. I guess maybe I dominated the talk, but we'll close for today. Sai Ram. Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sai Ram, everyone.